What's up, y'all? It's your boy KevOnStage, and this is In Traffic with KevOnStage. I drive to work every day, and I'm always in traffic. By the way, my hands are on the wheel. I drive most of the time with my hands beneath the steering wheel. I don't go 10 and 2. I'm cool. I go 4 and 7. 5 and 7. 5 and 7. I go underneath. Anyway, I'm in traffic every day. And I just thought, why don't I just talk? You know, current events, whatever. And I don't know if I'll ever do this again. I've been thinking about podcasting. I don't know if people are into podcasts. But I know what I'm into. Traffic every day. Every day. I'm stuck in traffic. So what I'm gonna do, just today, if you guys like it, maybe I'll do it again. There's a lot of stuff that I want to talk about that's not necessarily comedic. This is not like gonna replace the videos that I do. This is just something to do in addition. And this will be unedited. So you'll see me when I switch lanes, like I'm about to do now. You'll see me driving, right? I'm not gonna be looking at the camera all the time, because I don't want to die. Sometimes it'll get blocked by my steering wheel. It's not the point to look at me. Look at my face. I got a lot of stuff anyway. A lot of facial hair. Because I haven't got a haircut in a week. So I'm just going to talk. And it's going to be maybe long, maybe short. Depends on how long I'm in traffic that day. Most of the time it takes me about an hour and 20 minutes to get to work. I drop my kids off from school. I leave my house at 7:30. Drop my kids off at school. It's the opposite way from my job. Come back. By the time I leave their school, it's usually 7:40. Then I usually get to work by 9 o'clock. So I leave my house at 7:30 to get my day started and don't get to where I'm going till 9 o'clock. The reason I keep readjusting my seat is because I hurt my back on Sunday somehow. This is how you know you're getting older, man. You hurt yourself and you don't even remember how, right? I don't even remember doing an activity that was like back breakable, hurtable. I don't even remember. I moved the bed around, but it wasn't heavy. And it wasn't heavy at all. Zay got his own room that he's yet to sleep in because doesn't have a nightlight. So him and JoJo still been sharing the same room. But anyway, so I moved the bed from our guest room into my old office, put that in there. And that's the only thing I could have done that hurt my back. But I didn't even it wasn't heavy, so it's not it. And at the same time, if I would have like lifted and hurt my back at the moment, I should be like, dang, that hurt. So anyway, you go on my Instagram if you want, KevOnStage. My wife sent me a funny video of Mike Tyson about him hurting his back. And I'm not gonna put that in this video because the whole point of this is I'm just gonna be talking. All the other edited stuff will be my other videos, but I spend a lot of time in the car. And maybe the stuff I talk about will be worth it. I don't get to talk about current events not all the time. And sometimes it'll be, I don't know, man. I might not even ever do this again. But I'm doing it today because I'm stuck in traffic. The first thing I want to talk about is Bill Cosby. I know I talked about him before. My brother texted me this morning and he said that he's listened to the Tom Joyner morning show and another model came out and said Bill Cosby raped her or drugged her or something like that. And then Donald Trump said Bill Cosby is either a serial rapist, getting bad advice, or stupid because he's not answering for himself. I think that's what he said. Something along those lines. And I don't know if I've ever agreed with Donald Trump. But I would like for Bill Cosby to say something. And I know legally that's a problem for people, but I just want Bill to be like, I don't know. I want him to say something, because otherwise it feels dangerous. It feels like we're in dangerous territory. And I don't want to be there. I don't want to agree with Donald Trump, okay? I really don't want to believe that Bill Cosby is who he says, or who it looks like he is. I don't want to believe any of it. I just wish it would go away. And then at the same time, if this is who he is, these women have been violated. You know what people never do, or rarely do? Be like, oh, yeah, this is me. I did all that. Like, people just end up lying. Like, Bill Clinton knew he was caught dead to rights. And he sat there and looked at the camera, and I did not have sexual relations with that woman, knowing he did. Then he gonna say, I mean, well, oral sex ain't sex. Come on, Bill. But that's what people do, man. They lie. They lie until they can't lie no more. And when they can't lie no more, they apologize. They don't necessarily tell the truth. They just apologize. And like the songwriter said, it's too late to apologize. It's too late. It's terrible. It's terrible. In other news, did you guys hear that Ben Carson, the black heart doctor, may be the next GOP candidate? Ben Carson. Can you believe that? If you don't know who Ben Carson is, he is a heart surgeon. He's black. I read his book when I was a kid. Loved it. He was like bad in school, and then like somehow his mom did something. I don't remember. It's a long time ago. But his mom did something, and he ended up becoming this great doctor and all this stuff. And now he maybe the next GOP candidate. It's almost certain to me that Hillary Clinton will be our next president. The GOP doesn't really have, I don't know, any candidates that are progressive enough. And I think you have, with a female candidate, you have young people, you have progressives, you have minorities, and you have gays who probably will vote that way. And Republicans probably just won't work. If you have a black candidate, man, you know what would be crazy? What if you had like 2 firsts running for president? If you had a black man and an Asian woman running for president, or like a gay man and a woman, or like a gay woman and a gay man, or like an Asian dude and a Mexican dude running for president. 2 candidates that neither is white. This is going to happen in my lifetime. I don't know if America's ready for it now, but listen, it's becoming more and more apparent that that white people are not going to be the only ones running for stuff anymore. You see, I keep having to do this because my back is still hurting. And a hurt back is like the worst place to be in traffic with. But I'm going to be in traffic with a hurt back because I still have a ways to go. I want to talk about the St. Louis Rams. I don't know if you guys saw this. Sunday, 5 of their players came out with their hands up, don't shoot demonstration, something like that. And it caused quite an uproar. There were a lot of articles written saying, you know, they are wrong and the police, you know, don't deserve this. You know, there's a lot of good police protecting the Rams, protecting the city, blah, blah, blah. And then there was a bar in St. Louis called Timeout Sports Bar, and they said they are no longer supporting the Rams because the 5 bonehead players decided to make this I don't know what the word is, demonstration. And they said, the rest of the statement went on to say there'll be no more happy hour during Rams games. We're taking off all the signs supporting the Rams because we are not going to support an organization that supports thugs and thugs who, while thugs are burning down our community. So obviously, here's what I like to talk about for a second. And it's not necessarily for or against either. It's just that there's a lot of people in America who seem to think that race issues are non-existent. They're like, perfect example. I saw this tweet on Twitter, where you see tweets, and it said white people be like, because the Star Wars, I'm trying to give you some context. The Star Wars trailer came out, and the first thing that pops up is a black dude's head. So it was like, white people be like, Star Wars movie, there ain't no black people in Star Wars. And then there was a black girl, Rue, in the Hunger Games, and apparently in the book people thought she was white, or she was white, and they're like, ew, Rue's not black, she's white. And then when Exodus, Gods and Kings came out, white people be like, it's just a movie, race doesn't matter. So I don't mind arguing about race. I just don't like, I don't mind talking about race. I just don't like to pretend that race issues don't happen. Like, people are like, you got a black president, race doesn't factor into stuff. It does. It's okay to say it does, because it does. Nobody's expecting you to be perfect and colorblind and race absent. Nobody's expecting that. It's okay to say, I disagree with this. It's okay to say race plays a factor. Race probably played a factor. I don't think race played a factor. But to act like race and race issues don't exist is absurd, to say the least. I just feel like it's ludicrous, naive, and it's just crazy. Like the GOP person, I don't know if you guys heard about Elizabeth Lawton. She was the GOP staffer for some Republican out of Tennessee or something, and she was saying Sasha and Malia apparently didn't look too happy during Thanksgiving pardoning ceremony, and she was like, have a little class, you know, your dad, well, maybe you guys don't have enough, you can't have class because your dad's a poor role model, and you know, maybe you should be dressed like you're with some respectability, and you know, not like you're dressing up for a local spot at the bar, right? And I don't know how old Sasha and Malia are, but I don't think they're older than like 14 and 12. I don't think so, right? So I don't mind you criticizing Obama. But to say your dad's not a good role model and he is the president of the United States, it's like the leader of the free world. Your dad has assumed that position. The first person that's any other race than white has assumed that position, and he's not a good role model. Now, you can disagree with his policies and tactics and Obamacare and all that, no problem, but we can all agree that that's the highest position you can attain in the United States. So if your dad's the president and he's not a good role model, then what is a good role model? Because that's a pretty hard position to attain. And here's the other thing that I didn't even remember. Bush's daughters were, I mean, I remember, but it didn't come to my mind immediately. Bush's daughters went ham, got drunk, blah, blah, blah. And for the life of me, I don't remember them getting called out. Giuliani's daughters either. Now, to their credit, social media wasn't nearly as powerful as it was. The lady put this on Facebook, and then it was like screenshot. It became a huge topic on Twitter, and, you know, just like that. And social media is powerful, man. People assume that just because they think their friends are their only friends, nobody will see it. But when things go poorly for you, everybody sees it. Everybody. So yeah, I didn't oh, by the way, Elizabeth Lawton got fired. Or no, she resigned. She agreed to resign yesterday, I believe. While we're talking about the government, I saw this on Instagram. A friend of mine I follow, T-Jack, or Ty-Jack. His name is Titus. His Instagram is T-I-J-A-C-K. But I don't know if that's pronounced Ty-Jack or T-Jack. I always pronounce it T-Jack in my head. I just thought it doesn't make sense if his name is Titus. It should be Ty-Jack. Anyway, he posted a picture on Instagram, and it was a monkey. And the monkey said, haven't heard anything about Ebola. Makes you wonder what they were distracting you from. And I was like, good point. Now, to be honest with you guys, I never was up on the Ebola scare. Why? I'm a slight conspiracy theorist. I've watched a lot of documentaries and even really TV shows to where they show how the government manipulates people through the media and the news cycle. They'll leak stories, they'll do stuff to do whatever. And I mean, to me, and the reason, and now Ebola is a real thing. Like, I don't discount that. But the scare factor part, it was overstated. And what I mean by that, more people die from the flu each year than Ebola. But for a good 3 or 4 weeks, maybe 2 months, Ebola was all in the national headlines. Ebola has reached Dallas. Ebola has reached Atlanta. Ebola has reached New York. 1 person has died. Meanwhile, people have been dying from the flu all year, and probably still are. The flu never makes the news. So, like, get your flu shots or don't. Now, Ebola to me is SARS, anthrax, all these things that potentially are going to kill you, and somebody has it out for you, and cover up and don't go out and don't sneeze. But like less than 10 people, not even 10% of the population, less than like 10 people are dying from them. But it's all you hear about for a while. So to me, I think it's a little bit of a scare tactic. I just have a hard time believing everything that people tell me I should believe. That's it, man. I have a hard time. I don't believe everything I'm told. Matter of fact, most of the time I feel like everything's all, somebody has ulterior motives. That's what I always feel like. See all this squinting and squinting, man, because I have a bad back now. That's when you're old. When you have a bad back, you are old. And I don't want to have a bad back. And I don't want to be old. But it's happening anyway. I'm still in traffic. We're at 20 minutes. Are you guys still watching the video? This is way longer than our normal video. I don't even know if it's possible for me to drive the entire time and talk. I'm getting thirsty. I wrote my notes next to me before I got in the car. If I do this again, I think I might need to be more prepared with the subject I'm going to talk about and for how long. Because I thought I could easily talk about these 3 things for an hour, but I don't. So I'm just going to talk about whatever comes to my mind now. If you're still watching, kudos to you. If you're not, you don't know what's going on anyway. You probably clicked off by now because you're like, this dude's talking for 20 minutes. Who do you think he is? It's not even funny stuff. He's supposed to be funny. Why aren't you being funny, KevOnStage? I don't come here to think. I come here to laugh. I don't have anything funny on my mind at the moment. My back is hurting. I went to bed at 8:30 last night. The kids went to bed at 8:30. After I said goodnight to them, they gave me a hug and kiss. I was asleep within 10 minutes. I'm 31 years old, going to bed before 9. Before 9:30, almost Monday through Friday. Like I said, I get up at 5:30, take a shower, work, make a video, get the kids ready. But getting up that early makes you go to bed early, because I need my sleep. My grandma can survive off of like 5 hours of sleep, and I don't know how she does it, because I can't. She'd be sleeping 3 or 4 hours, but I cannot. Matter of fact, that's how I'll know if you're still watching this video. If you're still watching at 22 minutes, tell me how many hours of sleep you get most nights. I go to bed at 9:30, or it's about the latest I go to bed, 10 o'clock at the latest. Most of the time, 9:30, I'm asleep. I'm in the bed by 9. I'm pretty much in the bed from when I get home. So I eat dinner, my wife and I work out, we sit in the bed and talk. But like, I'm in the bed to go to sleep by 9 o'clock, 9:30, usually. So that's what I want to know. What do you get? So if I go to bed at 9:30, 10, 30, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 34, 35, 30. A good 8 hours for your boy. A good 8. And anything less, it's tough. My grandma is about 4 hours. My wife, about the same as me. My kids get about 10 hours. My kids go to bed at I knew this was going to happen eventually. If I do this for real,